In a world where there's not nearly enough podcasts about nerd stuff, three men decided to take a stand. Right now, right here, we are the Beard, the Brain, and the Brawn. This is where you guys go.
Man, we should have had really cool intro music. That would have been really cool.
That's your job. You're the tech guy.
You are the tech guy.
All right. Anyways, welcome to the Beard, the Brain, the Brawn.
Woo!
I'm Zach.
I'm Stu.
I'm Andy. Brace yourselves.
Guys,
I'm braced.
It's time to talk Game of Thrones. We haven't done this in a while, but I think we're going to go strong.
I blame you.
I'm pretty pumped about the new season. I'm more pumped about the new book. Hopefully next year.
George, get on it.
George!
I will tape him. Actually, you really don't even need to tape him to his chair. Just put him in his chair and hold him down.
I'm looking at you, George. Get that book done.
Right?
All right. Well, since the new season's coming up, I have been rewatching each season.
Yeet.
And I'm not going to lie, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good season. I was going to rewatch it, and then I got busy watching Black Sails and getting my pirate on, and I kind of forgot.
Am I weird that I don't like rewatching it?
I usually do it like once or twice.
I just get depressed. I can't watch season 1 because I know what happened in episode 9. I can't watch season 3 because I know what happens in episode 9. I mean, really, the only seasons I can watch are 2 and 4, and that's it.
I can't ever rewatch the first one. For the same reason, I can't reread the first book too often.
I think it's just because the first season and the first book are pretty much identical. There are some little loose things, and I feel like I've watched season 1 so much that I could pretty much
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean I did it. I'm not gonna lie, I did it.
I've only actually watched season 1 once.
Really?
I watched season 2 and 3 and 4 multiple times, but nah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Anyway. So I did hear a story about they were interviewing Dan and DB about the showrunners about what can we expect this season, because as most people know, this season is going to be book 5 and beyond. So we're now going into uncharted territory.
Beyond-ish.
Well, yeah.
We don't know how far beyond.
No, but they have confirmed that we are going beyond the books and that this is stuff.
But what does beyond the books mean? Does it mean that they're actually going to go into what book 6 is going to talk about, or are they just going a different path? If they're going a different path, I'm okay with that. If they're going to change up the storyline.
Well, I mean, they said that there are things that happen in the books that happen in the season. There are things that don't happen in the books that happen this season. I mean, they've...
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah. So
and Brain's not even in this season. And I think Hodor's also out.
Yeah, they're both gone.
Because he's doing his Rave of Thrones across Europe or something.
That's true. But no, they did say that in the first, supposedly, and take this with a grain of salt, they said that the first episode, a major male character dies who doesn't die in the books.
Hopefully it's Littlefinger.
Whoever he was pissed.
Yeah, I heard that too. He read the script and he was pretty bummed out about it. But I'd be too. It seems like it's a fun crew to be on and a good show.
I think I have my theory as to who it is.
I think I have mine as well. Do you have a theory, Andy? And then we can all say our theories.
I really haven't put much thought into it, but let's go. Who do y'all think?
Go ahead.
I think it's Sir Barristan.
So
You think so?
Yeah.
You know what though? But I think, spoiler alert, he's fixing to die in the 6th book anyways at the Battle Marine.
But see, I'm hoping...
Or be really badly hurt.
I don't know, because you keep seeing the promo stuff for this upcoming season, and you don't see him in any of it.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. I mean, he's almost a tertiary character.
No, but like when Danny, that shot of Danny in the fighting pit, surrounded by the Sons of the Harpy, you see Dario, you see Jorah, you see Tyrion. There ain't no Barristan, and that's the king or Queen's Guard. He should be there.
Yeah, that is disconcerting.
So
and he was there in the books.
Yeah, and he was,
because he plays a decent bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Kingmaker.
Yeah,
or Kingbreaker, depending on how
and that'll be
it.
interesting too for when she takes her flight, because he's one of the main cats in all the shenanigans afterwards.
Yeah, so does Dario take over for him as far as leading her army?
But could he? Because Dario is kidnapped at this point. Well, not kidnapped, but he's a hostage for the...
Not in the show.
Did they do that hostage dealing? No.
They sent him to Yunkai, but, I mean, the fact that he's in the promo stuff, he's clearly right next to her, leads me to believe that he's going to take over for where Barristan is.
I could see that then.
All I'm saying is, if he does go out in the show, that dude deserves to go out in a blaze of glory.
He better go out like a boss.
Like, we're talking like
Merkin,
pile of bodies in front of him,
100
like
bad dudes,
4 or 5 arrows in him, and then he finally is like, you know what, F this, I'm out.
I want to see him like throw his sword at somebody like a battle axe and just murk him. He's like, yeah, I'm Barristan the Bold, bitch.
All right.
I'm saying they do the like someone stabs him, and like a boss, he pulls the sword into himself more. That way he can kill whoever's getting him.
Ooh,
Boom.
yeah. I like that idea
Game
quite
over.
a bit.
Barristan Selmy.
Bauman improved.
Epic death. I want to talk about season 4 for a little bit, just kind of doing a recap, because I've watched episodes 1 through 4 or 5 so far.
What did was it? They interviewed Martin. Who was it? Someone with the show. They interviewed so recap Game of Thrones and they're like breasts, sex, and death.
Accurate.
Well, that's every season.
Yeah.
Well,
HBO.
yeah, but like the entire series. That's pretty much all it is.
But
proceed.
but for season 4, I've started to rewatch it, and I brought this up with Andy, so I'm going to bring this up with you, Stu.
Do tell.
I don't know what happened. I can't remember in the books, but in the show, when Littlefinger goes and sees Eliza, brings Sansa with her.
Yes.
Before they actually get married, there's
Yes.
a part in the show where Lysa says that they had their wedding night years and years and years ago.
Correct. In the show, correct. Yes.
And do they mention anything about
No.
in the books?
No.
Not at all.
As far as Peter's concerned, he never had a fling with Liza. He is still under the assumption that he and Catelyn had a thing.
But did they really?
No.
No, I think he's just
That's what I'm
fantasizing
saying.
about it.
What happened in the books is he had to deal with Brandon.
Right.
Brandon,
Slices his chest or whatever.
yeah, like pretty much from lip to
Stern, like
the
waist.
junk. Cuts him, not deep, but like cuts him to where homeboy is pretty
Toast.
effed up. And he is basically, like being healed up and taken care of. Liza slips into his room, and he's so doped up
Discombobulated,
that he thinks it's Catelyn. They get it on,
But it's Liza.
and he, to this day, is still under the impression that it was Catelyn and not Liza.
Yeah.
But in the show, we're going with that they have been married.
In the no. In the show,
They really heavily emphasize both him and, well, not him, but Liza heavily emphasizes that they have been married and she is doing this for her husband. Everything that she's done was done for her husband.
well, in the show, they talk about how he knows that it was her, and that they've had the entire
Who knows
time,
it was her?
Peter Baelish,
Knows what was her.
that it was her and not Catelyn that he stooped.
Oh,
while he
well,
was.
okay.
Yeah, I brought that up. But they talk about how the entire time Jon Arryn was down in King's Landing, every time Liza would come down to visit Jon, she actually came down to visit Peter.
And get
But-
the biz.
and get the biz, yeah. Get the Baelish. Yeah. It's going to be one of those days. So in the show, it's much more heavily implied that they've had a long-standing affair, whereas in the books,
But you don't think they were married previously secretly?
I don't think they were actually married, no.
Okay.
I still think, like we spoke earlier, that she was just referencing the fact that they, in 90s parlance, knocked the boots.
But it was just more
well
than
done.
it was just more than one reference that it was. It wasn't
Yeah.
just, hey,
They did the no pants dance,
And let's not forget.
the horizontal mambo.
Yeah, I was going to use that, you
Damn right.
jerk. Let's not forget. Lisa's crazy.
Batshit, I believe is the technical term.
And George is a big fan of the unreliable narrator. And obviously that's for the book and not the show, which is what we're discussing. But so I don't know. I still think she's just talking about them getting it on. But maybe not. Who knows? Show's different.
Play some
Speaking
Marvin Gaye in
of,
the background.
Y'all see the guy that plays the Night's King coming back this season?
I'm curious as
I
to
did.
that.
I'm real pumped for that. Also,
well, they have to show a little bit more.
yeah. I'm kind of bummed at how they did the final scene with Bran, the others, the Children of the Forest, and the...
You were pissed.
I actually still am, yeah.
You were real pissed.
Because literally when I read that scene first in the book, when I first read it, I've been looking forward to that scene since then, how many years ago that was. And then we come to it, we see it, and it's some old dude in a chair.
He's not
You
like
know.
skeletal with roots going in and out of
Yeah.
his.
It's like I didn't want to see Tree
Self.
Merlin. That's lame. I wanted the whole thing where like he walks down in the cave and it's super dark and he sees the massive abyss with the little tiny path in the middle of it. And he's like, is he on that path? And she's like, nah, he's behind you. Look around. Or turn around. And he turns around. Yeah, and you see like this almost skeleton. Roots coming out of one eyeball. Worms and stuff crawling on him. Looks like he's been impaled by all sorts of roots. And yeah, it was really gnarly. And instead it's just some old geezer that like maybe got tired and sat down on a tree stump underground.
Silver Maple Mon.
Yeah, it's lame.
I was trying to. I did think of Gandalf Lundgren though. which I want to see
That's
happen.
kinda, actually, I could fool with that. Dolph's no joke. But yeah, it was really disappointing. And then the children of the forest didn't look like little creatures. They're just like homeless kids that were living in the forest, Robin Hood style.
Big ol' eyes though.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah.
lame. Although it was kind of cool. They were throwing fireballs.
The mutineers. What about the mutineers? The guys who took over Cresser's Keep and they had to go kill him.
Oh yeah,
A very big, stupid, pointless
yeah, it was lame.
thing that they just did for action.
You got to see Sword Tongue though.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, that was kind of rad.
Well, and they completely cut out Cold Hands.
Yep,
One of
Cold
my
Hands,
favorites.
Stoneheart.
Well, I don't know.
They coming back with her? I heard that they weren't going to do it.
One of them, Dan or DB, said something about, they alluded to the fact that just because someone isn't in the show at the particular time that they're in the books doesn't mean they won't be in the show at any point, period.
I hope so.
Whatever the
Stoneheart's
hell that means.
I mean, she's been currently busy with doing another show, Resurrection.
Or
I
one of
think.
those, yeah.
So she might be busy and, filling her time until
Just
she's
shoot
coming back.
one scene. Come on.
I still want the one scene with the reveal. Like
Maybe that'll be
creeping
the
up
end
on
of this season.
riverbank.
Maybe we'll just hope for the end of this season.
Yeah, I hope so.
So
Love me some Stoneheart. Want to see the Night's King. Pretty pumped for Bloodraven if they make him less of a lame-o. Because, I mean, even if you read, like, the Duncan Egg Tales before,
He's a
Bloodraven's
scary
boss.
individual, yeah.
Yeah, he's a boss, and he knows everything. And now he's some decrepit old dude that needs to go drink more Ensure, sitting on a tree stump. Stupid. I actually am getting fired up about it now. That was dumb. I mean, I understand budget-wise, but come on now. It was so lame.
you don't think they're gonna kill the new king, right?
Who, Tommen?
Tommen.
At some point, he's got to be.
I mean, he's a major character who.
Gold will be their crowns and
No.
gold their shrouds.
Exactly.
And they're doing the Maggie the Frog
They
prophecy
are
this
doing
year.
that. That's going to be
So-
interesting.
I mean, they're Chekhov in it, so I assume, and you know how that goes. But I think his time is not long for this world.
Well, no. I'd say he makes it through this season. And probably next season is when Tommen goes the way of
Yeah.
Oberyn,
Joffrey.
Robb.
And then have we even done any of the Marcella
Joffrey.
stuff yet with Dark Star and all that?
No, they're completely cutting that out. Instead, no. You want this.
You guys can't see this, but my eyebrows have almost hit the roof.
Maybe they somehow work it in, but from what everyone's been saying, they aged up Marcella to where she's like 18 now. She's totally not 12.
Well, they've kind of aged everybody.
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
to.
but like she left for Dorne, she definitely looked like she was about
Well, she's a youngster,
10.
man.
Yeah.
When
Well,
she
now
gets it-
she's like 17, 18.
Yeah, but
And hold on. And another big character now is Trystane Martell.
Mm,
And apparently there's going to be like,
a love interest.
yeah, what? Who cares? They're
Not
kids
this
in the
guy.
no,
I want to see more Drogon.
no, yeah.
I want big old.
I
black
want Arya
dragons.
Hoda to be cutting some fools apart.
Yeah, that axe is dope.
I know.
That's really cool.
I know.
What's up, Zach?
I don't remember now. Oh, we talking
So
about
anyway, like
Marcella?
I was saying,
the
the-
age thing. The books they go a lot faster timeline than the show does. The show takes a period of a lot longer period of time
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
because they always
Oh.
like. I was watching it and Jamie has only been back for like 2 episodes and it was months period of time. They
Mhm.
keep referencing you've been back for months and haven't, now you're just coming to see me. Even
Yeah.
though the whole Jamie coming back timeline is already messed up as it is because he shouldn't have been back till after Joffrey's
but-
death. But that's
and-
beside the point.
But they also fooled with Brienne, the
that's
Hound,
true. Like,
and my
they've-
babe Stoneheart.
Oh,
maybe they're
okay.
just
So
getting
let's
timey-wimey.
go into the Hound,
Mm.
Brienne, and Arya. Let's talk about those three because those
So-
three was kind of a major big deal
Proceed.
in.
Do y'all think we're still gonna
Season
have the
4.
salt pans incident with the hooded acolyte?
I don't think we'll see the hooded. Well, I don't think we'll see it in that respect.
Do you want to explain the hooded alkalite a little bit?
Go ahead.
Getting into spoilers territory, but and this could be all different since the Brienne story's changed. But when Brienne's looking for whoever in the Hound, the daughters, I forget, man, it's been so long. She comes to the salt pans and meets with the leader, who's well known for his ability to heal, kind of an unorthodox guy.
Well, it's like an entire convent, really.
Mm-hmm. And there she finds Stranger, which was the Hound's horse.
Mhm.
They had it, and the guy that she's talking to keeps talking about how the Hound is dead, but the way he words it is in such a way that
The
I mean
ha-
anybody that's watched any TV,
the
or read
Hound
any
is
books,
the Hound is dead. Sandor Clegane is at peace.
right? And so she sees an acolyte there digging ditches or whatever, and he is massive, bigger than her, and it's already been stated in the books that the only people really bigger than her were the Cleganes.
Mm-hmm.
and he's got the limp just like where he got hurt in the books, which was slightly different than the Brienne Hound scene
Mm-hmm.
in the show. And so what we all think is it's a big turnaround where he's going to end up fighting Ungregor, a.k.a. the 7th Kingsguard member,
Mm-hmm.
Frank and Gregor, a lot of different names
Mm-hmm.
that we'll see more of this season. So it'll be interesting. I mean, it makes sense from a story arc standing. It makes sense from how George likes to have everybody intertwined and everybody somebody else that somebody else knows. So it'll be curious to see what happens.
I know that in the promo footage they've had Brienne and Pod somewhere it's snowing.
Yeah, didn't you guys say they went
Well,
to Winterfell or something? in
I
the
think
show?
they went to Winterfell. I think they are in Winterfell.
Yeah.
I think they certainly go north now. As to where that north is, I
Well,
don't know.
We also know that they're also with an Aryan party
Mm,
A what
with the Veil, the
Oh,
soldiers
Robert
from the
Ayers.
Veil.
not Aryan like Nazis too.
now? Like, I
Sorry.
don't think they're in the Game of Thrones.
Sorry, but you clearly see
Dead Snow 3.
you clearly
Westeros.
see the
I was
shield
very
of
concerned for a minute.
the shield of the Veil.
Aaron, yeah,
Walking into a destroyed
It's true.
winter castle.
yeah. And if they're there, what the heck? Well,
I don't know
okay,
where else that would
okay.
be.
No, hold on. Thought.
You going hooded man?
No, but hear me out here. We haven't done the Manderley thing at all, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
with the Frey pies.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't introduced them and their intentions and how they're playing things. What if we had the Aaron army forces take the place of the Manderleys?
Then I got more beef because two of the coldest lines in the whole series
I know,
are
and I'm
the-
pissed off because it's
are
not
the-
going to be in there
is
either.
the Martell snake in the grass speech
That's true. Well,
and,
maybe they may still have that.
and the North Remember speech that Martell
You want
gives.
You want
Or not
awesome?
Martell, Manderley gives.
What if Sansa gives that speech?
I mean, I think we're going to see her be more of a Lady
If
Vengeance.
Sansa gives that speech, I will fly to wherever she is and I will marry Sophie Turner right now, because
That's a bold statement.
I'm
that's
kidding.
bold.
Clearly,
I mean, she's only like 19, and you're previously married.
I'm joking.
but what I'm saying,
Previously married?
Still
Currently married?
he's still married, was already married, off the
Has-
market to say
Has
the least.
been
It's
married?
true.
And his wife is cutthroat. So what I'm saying is, hey Emily, but what I'm saying is that Sansa, I mean, is clearly, and even if you look at the newest spoiler chapter that just came out like a week ago, I mean, she's clearly making the moves. She's under the tutelage of one of the most clever folks in Westeros, one of the best game players. I still think Varys is better because he doesn't have a lot of aspirations, whereas Littlefinger does most of the things to help himself.
Well, they had the ranks of like who's the true power players in various things, and you had like your basic just pawns, which are like Pod, Brienne, Jaime, stuff like that. Then you had like your second echelon, so like Cersei, who kind of does things, but in
She
reality,
thinks she's more clever than she is.
they're
She's
not
a bull in
doing
a china shop.
really shit. Then you have like your Tyrions, your Tywins, your those types of people. Then you have your, I would say Manderleys, maybe Roose, maybe Roose,
I would probably put him on the same level as Tywin.
Tywin.
Yeah.
Then you got your Littlefinger, and then I would say Varys is the level up, but because
Where did they
Littlefinger.
put Bloodraven on there?
Oh well,
Because he's one of the top tier cats too.
well yeah, I was concerned more with the
Okay.
non-White Walker oriented.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you look at Littlefinger, all his schemes are centered around Westeros. They're centered around King's Landing primarily and the Iron Throne, whereas Varys's schemes are Westeros and Essos.
Mhm.
They're much more of the long game. They involve a lot more people, a lot more moving parts.
But there's a definite difference between Littlefinger and Varys.
Well,
Littlefinger's for himself, Varys is for the realm quotation.
Correct. So
They're
you have
probably secretly
greed
the dogs.
versus keeping everything in peace.
yeah, and I feel like Littlefinger's much more proactive in his scheming than Varys.
Ooh, I would
Well,
say
I-
he's.
I would say until the epilogue of the 5th book,
Okay.
Varys is a lot less proactive.
I think we
himself
think,
personally.
I think we think he is less proactive.
We just don't see we don't know what he's doing.
Correct, because we don't have his point of view.
And on that note, I mean, a slight tangent, and bring me back in a sec, but now Varys is with Tyrion over in
Yeah, I don't know
Essos.
what that's about.
Kind of weird because he didn't do that in the books.
Right, but I think one of the cool things is that Varys, I think he's been more hands-on than Littlefinger is. I think Littlefinger is played the long game, as in all right,
create chaos. Profit.
here's this idea. Now we have to wait for it to happen.
Mhm.
Here's this
What's
idea.
real messed
now
up
we
is-
have to wait for.
What's real messed up is in this season, you find out that Lysa was the one that killed Jon, and Lysa was the one that blamed Lannister. So this entire damn thing was Littlefinger's fault.
And
Oh yeah, this
although
Side note-
Varys and them were manipulating it too.
Yeah, but
They
side
just
note,
made it faster than
screw you,
expected.
Peter Baelish.
Yeah.
You killed Ned Stark, asshole.
Son of a gun.
it makes you think a lot about Varys and who he is, because he is for the realm.
We
Well,
know,
he's
always
we know
for the realm.
exactly who he is.
I think
Well-
he's a Targaryen of Blackfire.
I think he's a black.
Because
guy.
why'd he get his junk cut off for magic, which has always been beat us over the head? King's blood's worth more. Why is his head shaved? And who else did that? Oh, my man Egg.
Don't they describe his eyes as like real, like
Mm-hmm.
either so brown it looks purple or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I would not be shocked to find out he's a Targaryen of Blackfire. Wouldn't
So
be shocked.
he's always for the honorable way.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, if Ned Stark would have listened to him,
Well,
what
Ned
would
did.
this? Well,
He went
he
to take the
did.
black and got murked by Joffrey.
he did.
That's true.
But
Joffrey
what would
was a
happen if
wild card?
everything went the way Varys said it would? Like, what if Ned did what he said and he
If
went for
everything
the
went
black?
the way Varys said it would, then the Lannisters never would have sacked King's Landing, and Rhaegar would still be alive. Actually,
Yeah.
no, that's true. Rhaegar would have been dead, but
Because Robert.
the Lannisters wouldn't have sacked King's Landing.
I could see that.
But
It's
anyway.
just
all right.
it's an
So who are
interesting
we
thing.
at now? Arya.
Arya. Let's talk about Arya.
That's going to be a great story.
Do we think she's going to pretty much stick to where she
I
is
think
in the
so.
books? I don't.
Yeah. But I don't think
From
she's
the-
long for the House of Black and White anyways, man.
No.
I think in book 6 you're going to see her
dip
come
out.
back to Westeros and start being a player.
Well, those the preview chapters. She's clearly not abiding by their rules. Like she does
Yeah.
their techniques, but she's definitely still doing
she's not a
kills
true believer.
for
Yeah.
her,
Oh yeah.
and not. She's done a couple, but if the opportunity comes up, she will kill somebody who's wronged her.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like they give her the boot.
Can I say a bold statement?
Oh snap! Bold away.
Well, I guess I shouldn't say this statement because I don't really think it's true after just now thinking about
Oh,
it.
just say it and shut up.
But what if, I've always said that I think Sirio, her dance master, is still alive.
Yes.
What if he's been following her everywhere she goes? Like we've kind of alluded to that. We don't think he's dead. The Hound, we see this in season 4, says he was killed by who? He could do it with no sword and still be killed. So I think maybe somehow he is still around. He is still following around. Maybe, maybe the Hound died and Sirio took his place.
Unlikely.
Unlikely.
I think it's highly.
It's unlikely,
It's
but
just
I
the
still.
side of impossible. But I mean, have we
But
not
it's
learned anything in Game of Thrones that
Exactly.
literally anything can happen?
So maybe he's not the Hound. Maybe that's not true at all. But I still think he's around. I think he's in Bravos. I really want him to be the person who's like training her to be who she needs to be, still keeping her protected as Ned wanted.
Well, Jaqen's at the Citadel, but I don't know. I could
Maybe
see him.
he's Jackal. Maybe they're the same person.
Jaqen Hagar.
Yeah.
Nah, man, he's at the Citadel right now, up to no good, because he's the one that
No,
impersonated
he
that
he
kid.
made the point of maybe Syrio was Jaqen.
Yeah, maybe they're the
Oh.
same person. I mean,
Here-
like I was saying, I'm going on different
but
angles
man,
here,
but
but
here wasn't Alistair Florent or whatever the one that fought him and brought the knights there and like took him out when Syrio and Arya escaped. We've seen him too many times
what?
since then. It was Alistair Florent or the other guy that got sent to the wall. And we've seen them a few times since then, and you
Mhm.
think he would have said, "Yeah, me and my homies got whooped by one dude with a wooden sword."
no, it was who?
I thought it was Meryn Trant.
Yeah, it's Marion Trant.
yeah, well, he went up there too. Trent went up there and
Did he?
fought. Yeah, he was at the wall.
I thought
No,
he's the
Trant-
Kingsguard. I don't think the
Trant's
Kingsguard gets.
Kingsguard. Trant went to Bravos
Well,
and
regardless,
got
we've had his story too many times for it
ending.
not to come out, where he wasn't like, "Yeah, I got whooped by a dude with a wooden spoon."
Who
essentially.
would say that?
yeah, that's actually a good point.
Who would
If you
say
got your
that?
ass kicked by some dude, no one saw it, but some dude with a wooden sword whooped you, would you
Your
be like,
orders were
"Hey,
to
guess
go
what? I got my
kill
ass
him.
kicked."
But he's even talked to us. I don't know. I find it highly
And
unlikely.
Yeah, I think he's still alive.
Okay,
Toast.
so Arya pretty much sticking on point.
Sticking on point with the
Within-
books.
Okay, so
Going to the house of the black
Cersei.
and white and
It seems like Cersei's sticking with her storyline.
She does the walk.
She does the walk. She gets Maggie.
They get the prophecy. She does the walk. How far along is Kevin's story going to go? Are they going to end it like they ended it in 5?
I don't even know if they're gonna bring him in. They don't have to.
No. I mean, it's too
John.
bad that he's like probably him and Jamie, and that's even wild to say, are probably the best Lannister. Well, and then you got Tyrion, so now I can't even make that statement that he was one of the best, most level-headed Lannisters.
Because I want them to bring Blackfish back. He's been missing for a while.
With you. I'm with you. And then are they going to do the Hooded Man? Like, are we going to see the Ghost of Winterfell?
Here's my question. I doubt we do it in the show. Maybe in the books. Are we going to see Bright Roar? Bright Roar?
Which one was Bright Roar?
The Lannister sword.
Oh, that Kevin.
They
Not
keep-
Kevin. That what's his name went to go find.
Yeah,
it.
they keep talking about it.
Yeah, and
We have to see the return of Dark Sister, Blackfire, and
Yeah.
Bright Roar.
yeah, and
They
I
have to happen.
I think we will.
And
Because
then somehow Ice has to get put back together.
what was that uncle's name?
Gerald, something like that.
Jirian or something? Yeah, because didn't he go to Asai or
No, he went to
Valyria?
freaking Valyria.
Yeah, to go find it, and they haven't heard from him since.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come back because they've mentioned him too many times.
Mm-hmm.
And then Benjen's fixing to come back because they mentioned him too many times. No, yes, they could be throwaway characters. We may never see him again.
Yeah,
But
that's
they
not
brought
how
them both
George
up 3 or
writes.
4 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not his style. So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see him, especially because Jirian,
Tyrion.
something like that. Because he was the one uncle that was always really nice to Tyrion, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that coming back. And Tyrion's over there. That's not super far from Valyria.
Mm-hmm.
Who's ruling Casterly Rock now?
Casterly Rock.
Nobody. I mean, I'm sure it's like
Yeah, because Kevin.
no.
I think it was Kevin, because Kevin was going to send Cersei back there, and
Mhm.
Tywin was. Tywin gets murked, has some, irritable bowel syndrome, and I think it was Kevin, because
But
Kevin
Kevin
was
comes
back there.
But Kevin comes back and
Yeah.
is now in King's Landing.
It's got to be a Castellan then.
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's still under Lannister control, but I'm sure it's not like a named character.
I don't think it'll stay under Lannister control.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. I'm really wishing.
Because they've been talking about laying the clever. I mean, I think it'll still be Lannister in that it's Tyrion when he comes back,
Mm.
and his dragon babe, but I don't know. And let's just keep going on this. Where's my man Marwyn the Mage? Have they even brought him on the show yet
No.
No.
from the Citadel? So maybe we'll see him now that Sir Piggy's on his way over there.
Wink, wink. No, he's not.
He
Man,
is
it's just,
not.
I need to
He's
rewatch
not
this.
going to the Citadel.
What?
I don't think he's going to go.
Yeah, I think they're going to skip this.
There's a scene.
What?
and
So we're
there's-
not getting the Sphinx.
No.
We're not getting
No.
Piglet at the
No.
Citadel. We're not
No.
getting
Nope.
Marwyn the Mage and the glass
No.
candles.
Nope.
No.
Not
I'm
a bit.
off. Bombing out.
There's a scene in the promos where you see them preparing a funeral pyre for somebody. You see a bunch of people standing around the funeral pyre, with the exception of one very important person who should be at Castle Black. And he's not standing around the funeral pyre. So they're thinking that that person is the one who died at Castle Black, rather than on the way to Bravos.
I got beef with that. If they cut that story,
Or
I
in
got
Bravos,
beef.
I guess.
I got a lot of issues. And I've generally been fairly supportive of the changes. Man, but
There
that
you
would
go.
solve so many problems if they just went to the Citadel. You had the Sphinx issue, which will come back up with the Sand Snakes, because she is one. Then you got, spoilers, then you got the whole thing with the glass candles, which then gets into the Quaith prophecy.
Don't think it's going to happen.
If I was a violent person, I'd throw my mic right now against the wall. I'm not, and I'm not going to, because it's not my
They
mic
cut
to
out a
break.
lot, dude. It's the show.
That's crazy.
They cut out whole characters. They cut out whole storylines.
And actually, you know what? That brings up some more issues I have. When you see all these people on social media that's like, oh, the show's overtaking the books, shoes on the other foot, book readers, I'm so proud. No, you're lazy. You're
Yeah.
lazy and you're missing out on so
Oh,
much.
shit. Here we go.
I want to go into a tirade about spoilers because I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of podcasts go into the fact that they don't spoil the show or they don't spoil the books because of the show and blah, blah, blah. This podcast is spoiling everything. If you're listening to this show,
Yeah.
you should be caught up on everything.
Yeah, and that's
You know,
actually
if
my
we-
fault, too, because I've kind of gone off.
Have
You know,
people bitched
but
about that?
Oh my gosh, you don't understand. I watch, you'll listen to podcasts and they'll get emails in saying, you should not, shouldn't spoil it. It's called a spoiling show for a reason. We are going to spoil every bit of it. If you
Dumbledore
don't want
dies.
to, if you don't want to listen to it,
Killed by
that's
Snape.
fine. But we're telling you what this is about.
He was the Half-Blood Prince.
This isn't a Harry Potter
He
show,
was in
so
love
we're not
with
going to go
Lily
into this.
Potter. I'm just spoiling as much as I can for people.
Man, let's do the spoiler. What's
Donnie
up,
dies at
spoilers,
the
dude?
end.
But here's the thing: if we are telling you that
Oh,
this is
I'm gonna
going
keep
to be
going.
a spoiler of the last
Book
4
of Eli's
seasons and
blind.
what we think is going to be in the 5th season, you better have read the books. If you
Yeah.
have no plan on reading the books, then who cares what we say?
Yeah, and but I
It was
still have
all
so
a
much
dream.
beef.
Dorothy was asleep.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry.
I have so much beef. Someone cut that man's mic. I've got so much issues. I don't know. I can't even think straight. I'm so angry. It's just crazy. The whole thing is crazy. I'm just going to think about Drogon, and maybe we'll get like some Balerion the
Who,
Black
by the
Dread
way,
flashbacks.
the 40-foot crane.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You have a 40-foot fire-breathing crane
And they were
to
saying
stand in for Drogon.
when they were saying the flames were so hot,
Hell.
like they were even standing a ways back, and it was getting kind of uncomfortable. I'm pumped for Drogon. I hope we get that scene. Do you think we'll get the scene at the Dothraki Sea
I
with
don't know.
Drogon?
They
Or do you think
talk
that'll be next
in
season?
the article. They
don't
talked
know.
about Drogon. They said that he's still affectionate to her, but he's clearly a wild animal, but he's still affectionate to her. So that leads me to believe that there's going to be interaction between her and him. I'm assuming that happens at the fighting pits.
Because her story doesn't have that much farther to go. Some
No.
Sons of the Harpy stuff, maybe the Green Grace, and then Showtime.
I mean, I feel like it's going to
I
be.
mean, it's only 10 episodes, guys, so they have a lot to. they
Well,
don't-
and I mean, Cersei still has a lot to happen on her end.
Mm-hmm.
Arya still has a lot to go on her end. Jon,
Ish. Not really,
man,
but ish.
they
'Cause
keep
they already
showing,
did the battle with the wildlings.
but they keep no. There's another one. They show.
There's another one.
Have you in the promo stuff? You see Jon basically landing in a fishing village.
Oh, you think he's doing hard home?
I think it's Hardhome, but here's the kicker. You see wildlings fighting wildlings.
So you think the is the Weeper's still out there? Isn't he?
Well, there's two possibilities. That, or there's a scene in the promo you see a jet black hand punch through a wooden wall. Now, no human is going to punch through a wooden wall. No, it's not cold hands.
Oh, I got really
But-
excited, guys. You couldn't see
but
that.
the
I got
question
really
is,
pumped.
you see not Thorin. That's what the flip is the red
Thoros? Or no, you're talking
No,
about the crazy guy that everybody
yeah.
loves.
Jesus. I
Yeah,
forgot
what is
name.
his name? No.
Whatever.
I don't even know where we're at right now.
It's the wildling guy that ends up being like buddies with John. And
Mace
like,
Raider?
No,
No, the other
like
one.
the
His number 2.
yeah.
Uh,
And he gets married
How did I completely no.
Bone? Thornbone?
Whatever.
because it's the guy because they're cracking jokes. And he always says he talks about his member and how
Yeah,
he has all the
whatever. Okay,
nicknames
anyway.
for himself.
You see him from the front fighting wildlings, but you see the other people in wildling clothing from the back, so they're wondering if those are actually whites. And if they're not actually fighting other wildlings, they're like they show up to rescue as a rescue party, and they start getting just pummeled by whites. and
It's got to
White
be hard
Walkers.
home then.
Sad, I think it has to
massacre.
be.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm.
I saw you get real excited. I know you were thinking Gold Hands.
I was thinking cold hands.
So
I
I want
got the
to I want to
chills.
go to one more thing before we kind of wrap things up.
Word.
In season 4, we see something that we did not see in the books. This is the first thing that we have seen as a.
Are you talking about Jojen paste? My man Jojen getting stabbed in the belly.
I think he's talking about the Night's King.
No, I'm talking about the Night's King, and the fact that what happens to Crester's kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think because they're turning him into. Well, I think they're turning him into White Walkers.
Now, do you think? But here's the thing: a White Walker. Define a White Walker.
The
It's-
zombie ones, not the reanimated dead folk. Like
Okay.
the actual ice zombies.
Gotcha.
I would say
I
call-
agree.
I
That's
would
what I agree.
say refer to like ice demons because whites are zombies for all
Yeah.
intents and purposes. They are not dead.
No,
dead
you're
people.
right. Yeah, they're undead.
I would
folk.
call White Walkers / others just ice demons.
Or like ice elves or something. Yeah, I got you.
Assholes. with
White
blue
Walkers.
eyes.
I think that's what they're turning them into because you don't need babies to turn them into freaking.
So we got
zombies.
White Walkers, we
And
have
the whites.
whites, and then we
because-
have the.
No, that's it.
That's it.
Wait,
What they did is they changed it for the show because when they called them the others, it sounded like a Lost reference, and they didn't want to confuse people.
so the whites are the babies that get turned into
No.
them.
No, the babies. Okay, so you have the White Walkers, which would be like the mummified guys riding horses, the Night's King, those types.
Right.
Well, not really the Night's King. Sorry. So you have them, and then when they are around and they kill people, they turn into whites.
Whites.
Which is
Okay,
the
that's
zombie
what I
folk.
want to. That's what I want to make
Yeah,
sure.
sorry.
Whites is the zombie folk.
And I think the babies are getting turned into White
Well,
Walkers.
you
Correct.
saw
That's what
that
I agree.
when
I agree.
when he did the fingernail touch to the face, which is one of the creepiest
Yeah.
parts in that show. Not only did his eyes turn blue, like not like the white blue, the white
Whites, blue.
blue,
yeah.
where it's like a pale blue,
Mhm.
like milky, disgusting,
But like
half
that
dead
piercing, crazy White
Yeah,
Walker blue.
and his skin started turning like that icy texture.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what's been going on.
The White Walkers. And it reminds me a lot of, if you guys do the forums, especially the heresy forums, which I think we kind of do in our own way, a lot of folks seem to think that I just lost my train of thought. And I apologize. Dang it. Oh, that it's a lot like the changelings in elfin mythology, where these elves would come and steal your baby and replace it with a changeling, and they would basically steal your kids, and they would become like elves or fairies. So I think that there's, and he's even said that they're kind of like the city, Sidhe. I think they're pronounced like the she or sea, which are elven mythological beings. kind of mercurial. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see more of what I believe. And they call him the Night's King, whether that was a typo or not. Really intrigued with that aspect.
Wasn't the Night's King a Stark? Wasn't the Night's King a Stark?
It was rumored to be one of the Starks because then the other Starks went and teamed up with the Night Watch and some other folks
King
in
Beyond the
Wreckshot.
Wall?
Yeah. And
No, because they fought the Night's Watch. The Night's Watch was following the Night's King.
Yeah, you know, you're right. I apologize.
They completely wiped him out and started over.
Yep, you're right. Stu is our encyclopedia.
He
He's
is.
also our living IMDb. The dude's good.
All right, so let's kind of wrap this thing up a little bit. Want to let people know that they can get an exclusive to a new chapter in the 6th book on GeorgeRRMartin.com.
That just came out?
Yep, it came out last
Like a
week.
week ago.
I'm
It's
looking
Sansa
at it.
chapter.
Oh.
It's pretty good. It's kind of short, as they have been. Not my favorite from the new. I think my favorite one is the one that takes place in Meereen. That came out a couple months back.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's worth reading, and I think it reinforces our belief that she's going to become a major Game of Thrones player. I still think she's going to be the end of Littlefinger at some point,
Oh, I hope so.
and I think that's the general consensus.
Just dead. So
What if,
dead.
what if they do Littlefinger this time? I feel it's too soon. I feel it's way too soon.
I think we'll see him for another season or two. He's a fan favorite. I mean, he's the one that everybody loves to hate.
Everyone
you know.
loves to hate.
No, Joffrey's dead. Well, there's still Cersei.
Well,
You got Cersei,
But-
and she's the
but
worst.
Joffrey, you hated. You did not have any compassion.
Jack
Cersei,
Gleason played him fantastically.
yeah. Cersei has a little, like, in the later books, she kind of has, like, this kind of, you kind of start feeling a little bit bad
Except
for her.
she's become everything that she hated. I mean, she raped
yeah.
that one lady in the books, and she got drunk just like Robert did to her. That initially started her hate for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's interesting that she's become the person that she hated, as well as really just a really terrible character,
That's true.
and really evil. I mean, you can't spin it. She's just a bad person.
You are not a nice person.
Yeah, I hate Cersei. I like the lady that plays her, but I can't stand the character of Cersei.
Well, that's pretty much it. Game of Thrones premieres, season 5 premieres on April 12th, this Sunday on HBO. If you do not have an HBO account, since I'm the tech guy, I might as well say all this. You can subscribe through Sling TV or Apple. There's another one that I'm forgetting, Cablevision, I think. You can sign up with HBO Now, which pretty much is the exact same thing as HBO Go, except you don't have to have a cable subscription. So $15 a month if you want to do that. I have got my month free trial from Apple, so I'm good to go.
Woohoo!
All right. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, one more thing. Normally we talk about all things, entertainment wise. Just as a heads up, Daredevil is coming to Netflix starting
Friday or Saturday.
Friday the 10th. So you
Check
guys
that out.
can enjoy spending time watching all of Daredevil and then watching all of Game of Thrones.
And actually, Watchathon's going on for Comcast folks and probably the other ones where you can get all the premium channels on demand for free.
Good
Been
point.
doing black sales. It's awesome.
Good
and you
point.
can also do Game of Thrones to get caught up.
Correct. Yeah. So Game of Thrones, I think most major, I know DirecTV is, I know Comcast is, I'm pretty sure all the other major people are having HBO free for this week or this weekend as well, so that you will at least be able to watch the Game of Thrones season 5, episode 1.
And Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
Big fan.
Me too. So hopefully it gets better. I think, we can talk about it at a different time. So I think that wraps us up, guys. So thank you guys for joining in on another great episode of The Beard, the Brain, the Brawn. Guys have any final words?
Long days and pleasant nights.
What the hell does that even mean?
My Gunslinger fans know what I'm talking about. Or we could just go, winter's coming.
I was actually going to say winter is coming.
Brace yourselves.
But it's spring.
Guys,
It's April.
it was a
Beginning of
long
spring.
winter.
It was a long winter.
Long winter.
Looking forward to pool season.
But winter is
Me
coming.
too.
I mean, I know it's spring now, but winter is coming.
Yeah, but so is summer.
Well, summer's coming too. So how about we do this? Spring is upon us, summer is coming, fall is coming, and winter is coming. Good night, folks.